Okay. The last video I deleted, I decided to change it up and go after this. So what I did, I got my filaments to be hooked up here, which I didn't do. Okay, my filaments are 12 and 1. 2. Let me see, 2 is a control grid. Grid 1 would be green. Okay. Grid 2 would be 8. Grid 2 would be red, which is red on 8. Orange is 1, 2, 3, 4. Orange will be grid number 3. 1, 2, 3, which I think is for focus. So this is taken from a GE black and white TV I was working on. I had to use these clips, and I have to mark things, otherwise I'll forget, obviously. So that was just for reference, so I don't have to do too much research. So it is this unit. So I got it all sitting there. When I measured the voltages, I think I measured eventually I got 7.8. I wrote it left-handed. No, I got 7.8 to begin with, but then it went up to like 8 volts after a while. So I'm going to start out here again. Okay, so I'm on black and white or red gun, low heater voltage. I had it at 6.3 and forgot that I need to move it up to E, which I didn't do. So anyways, I'm supposed to have this cut off all the way counterclockwise. Have this on line. Let me get it plugged in here. Okay, neutral to neutral. No vibration, that's fine. Okay, so as soon as you turn it on, it actually can get the line voltage. Okay, I'm a smidge high on 120 volts. That is black, so I will go to calibrate this knob way up here and turn this to black plus a smidge high, I think. I think it was smidge high. Go back to calibrate here. Yeah, I don't know. Good enough. Good enough. Okay. Heater to cathode leakage. I'm assuming black and white. We're way low anyways. Next step is grid 1 leakage. Grid 1 leakage, black and white. It's maybe for all TV tubes. Next spot is cutoff and quality. I don't remember a lot about the cutoff, so I'll switch it to cutoff. If I remember right, I'm supposed to note, like I think one of my TVs was like 1 flat, negative of 0. So I'm just going to take, and then I'm supposed to bump it up 2 bumps. Turn the cutoff. It's one of those pots that you spin and spin. This pot is noisy. So, wait a minute, I'm going to back off. I already been through this. I have to boot the filaments up. I forgot. So now that's that filament bolts, I think, is I don't have it with me. It's 8.3 or something. So I'm on E. Now I'll do the cutoff. Put it up. Let me see. Cutoff's supposed to be all the way counterclockwise, so it's on 0. I'm supposed to bump it up 2 marks. It's all the way. Okay. So my next step is quality. Not looking good. Okay, I'll leave it run for a while. So I have it hooked up correctly, I believe. Black and brown are 1 and 12. Green is 2. Yellow is 3. Orange is 4. And red is 8. And there's your green is grid 1, grid 2. Here's my reference sheet. It's a lot better. So, back to this thing. The last video I did, I just deleted it because I said this signal's going into here, which is incorrect. This is triggering that. I should have remembered that. I'm still going to refer to this as a horizontal oscillator. Multi-vibrator oscillator. I'll call it a horizontal. That's what I remember from the 1970s anyways with TV. So I'm just going to, I have these transistors in. So I'm going to get my oscilloscope set up and leave this sit a few more minutes and see if my reading increases. It's doubtful. But I have to reread, and I know this is supposed to be all the way counterclockwise. These are supposed to be on low, but God only knows for a CRT of a oscilloscope. God only knows. So I'm on quality. I'm not going to go here. And I'm going to write caution, caution, caution. Maybe I'll even write, I'm going to write 6.3 there. So when I put this thing away, I put it all the way down to A. So I'm just a little above 2, so not good. So here we go, pausing out here. Here's my filament voltages right here. I had it on that, which is D, then I switched it to E. But I had 7.8 volts for a while. I wrote it left-handed. Then it went up to 8 something, so I didn't write that down. So this is where I just tested it at with 8.4 volts. So back on. I just had an interesting thing here. I just put this on here. I'm going to bounce my pinky here. Now I got a signal like this, which is different. So I'm on, okay, I'm not going to, okay. So on the front, I have this going. I did some monkeying around. I put a jumper across here, otherwise it shoots down the bottom. If I put that up, I get this. I did some monkeying around. I had the gain way too high, so it was really going up to the top off the screen. So between that and adjusting the fine vertical positioning, I was able to come up with this, but I don't know this wave shape I'm really getting right now. It's like really weird. I must be way off frequency. Okay, it's not going to stabilize really. So that's my sine wave. I'll hook up to square wave really quick here, which is from here to here, and pull it off. So that's square wave. So I'll go back to sine wave here. I think I like that better. So I don't know, what a book would recommend. I never read the book yet. Saving it for a rainy day. So what I'm going to do is go to this here. Let me put a hook on this thing. Excuse me. Okay, I'm going to start from here, which is my test point, which normally I get. Just so I'm getting the sawtooth, so I'm assuming that's coming from the horizontal oscillator or multi-vibrator. I'm assuming. So I'm gonna, it's hard to do one-handed. So I mark these particular places. This one here is the control grid, which I'm way over. Step in my boundaries here, pull back 2 of these, and see what I get. Oh, it's got to balance myself somehow with like my pinky or something here to get a stable spot. Okay, so I'm getting this, so okay, I'm gonna pull back on my frequency, 2 of them this way. No, that way, 2 of them. 2 times, 2 hits. Come back to it. Okay, so I'm getting this. So that's at the, okay, I'm gonna go down this way. Here's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna start testing. I'll just go this way. Okay, I was just at the test point, then I was there. I'll go back to there, which is this. It's actually got green. I couldn't get red to stick to that spot, so it's actually green. So I get that. Before it was a square, half a square wave on the negative going. So that was there, so I'll go to here, which will be this one, I guess. It'll be this one. This is the base. I'll touch, that's the base. Okay, here. Let me get that. I guess I didn't touch that one. Yeah, that's collector where I'm at, and base vertically up. Here's the next drain and base, I think. So now I'm really overstepping the boundaries here. Pull it back 2. I'll capture it over here. So I'm getting that. Now this side I get a positive thing. And if I go to the, wait a minute, that's a positive signal. That's a positive signal. Well, when I was getting square wave before, it was going negative. Let me see. That hoop is right here, so that's, well, that's a transistor. No, wait a minute. I wasn't supposed to be there. I'm supposed to be here. Q, the gate and drain, no, source. The source, the gate of 101. Where is it? What the heck is it right here? So it, yeah, okay, it has that hoop. So that would be the source, the gate, coming from my switch. And my source jumps, oh, the base is hooked right here. So yeah, it's supposed to be there on that hoop. Then my next shot would be, so that would be my gate, my source, then my emitter, or collector, I mean, whatever, the next base. So, okay, I'll go back to this hoop. Okay, I have this. Okay, the other side, which is this one, I think. That's about there, I think. Now that shows a smaller, now this side is negative and this side is positive. So the gate is that, the source is that, and that goes into my base. My next goes into my base, and then it's going to come out the collector here and go to a base. So I will again balance my finger, hook up, negative, I guess. So that's my base. My next base is here. Can I get to that? That was my collector. My next base is here. I'm going to go way up here. It's easier. So I get that. Straight down was my, there's a little red and green on it. My next spot is here. It's that test point where I have to pull back on. I'm going to pause it here. Okay, back on. That's what I'm getting at, the collector test point. Test point. So here I get a signal. So I think this is some kind of a delay network. Test point, I'm getting nothing, so I'm assuming that's DOA. I got these things put in. I'm going to pause and hook my scope up to that stuff. Back on, I'm hooked up to the base there and the base there. These are the transistors I purchased from eBay. One's a RCA and one's here's what they are. I crossed them. I have an old floppy 3.5-inch floppy drive that I crossed them from SK. I'm going to watch this. I'm going to shut it off for a second here. Back on. Okay. Let me pull back. Let me get two of these going and move forward, I guess. Synchronize. Okay. Same thing here. Okay, that's the base, if I didn't say it correctly. It looks to me like it's like a out of phase push-pull. These things aren't put any place in particular. They're just there. This one's at 1 volt per division. This is at 1 volt division, which is interesting because last time I did it, I had this at 1 volt and this at 5 volts per division. So, but when I was doing this stuff, the wave shape's different. So I don't know what's going on. I did not change anything on the sine wave. I did readjust this stuff because this thing was way expand, like big time. So I had to pull back on this and then readjust this, pull back on this and readjust that. So I got this, and it's obviously wandering here. See if I can do something here. So I imagine, and here's my horizontal positioning. So this is an obsolete potentiometer. I believe I touched base on if I remove that, it shoots off the bottom. So I discovered that if I do this, it'll give me a deflection anyways, and I could advance it a little more if I want. It's not like a good advancement. You always end up with this center thing for some reason. But anyways, so I don't know what happened here. It's like something's different. No. X10, maybe I was on X10. No. I don't know where I'm at here. Well, whatever. It's going to wander anyways with that bad. This transistor's bad, it's going to wander. I was going to take like a 0.1 capacitor and jump across there and see if it stabilizes anything, see if it stabilizes this, but apparently I have a weak CRT maybe. So I think I'm okay with a high voltage power supply, I think. This thing here I want to mount to the back of that. I got insulators and heatsink compound to do it, but right now I don't know if there's a reason to do it. I don't see a reason. Let me sync. I'm syncing from channel 2. Now this is both are all. This is syncing from channel 1. This is on both. So there's that's channel 1, which is red, which is the top half, and then the bottom. So that's about all I can do, I guess. This is it. Time to get the wrecking ball out and take care of it. I think I'm gonna. I don't know if I got a capacitor, if I can find that spot here. Probably need electrolytic capacitors, 1 microfarad or something. I'm going to pause this a moment and see if I can find a little ceramic 0.1 or something. Pause it out. Okay. I took this little 0.1 and put across from that red spot there to my test probe spot. It didn't make any difference. It probably needs electrolytic to jump it. I don't have one handy. All I got is this big crap here. I was digging through stuff I don't see. I know there's some in here, but I guess it's not worth digging for right now. Maybe this should be on chop. There, now she's on chop. Chop for slow frequencies, I guess. Well, that's about it. Best I can do. I haven't even used this thing since I put the new 12AU7. Not a new one, but a used one. It came out of a generator I bought, which I have to get that thing functioning. But this thing I'll use a lot more than the generator, so this is it for this. This is about the best she's gonna get. I don't want to have a screwdriver handy to pull back on this. But my next, I went the wrong way. This is actually, I think, hooked up backwards. I didn't hook it up, so I mean I hooked this up and extended the lines, but so right now it's stabilized anyways, and it is a sine wave. Go to a square wave really quick here. Square wave, it's probably off the screen there. Square wave. I think I'm not going to buy any more of these old scopes. I don't know if they're worth diddling with. I still got to get this one, get some electrolytics put in that one, and get it so it don't shake this way. The amplitude seems to be fine on this thing if you're looking at a shape, but it's shaky. So again, this is at 1 per division and 1 per division. On X10 and on X10. Okay, we'll shut her off. I think it's weak. Shut it off, and okay, my next steps with this thing, which I am going to do, I have to adjust the vertical board. What's under here? I have to go through the bottom, get the other half off. So I got that's lukewarm. I have to adjust this till I get a balance on both collectors. And if I back off on all these, put this on exit and put this on ground, and counterclockwise on this sync gain, and everything else counterclockwise, then you won't get that nasty pulsation on the collectors. And I can then I can adjust this one to try to balance from collector to ground, then collector ground, back and forth, and try to adjust this to get a same voltage, maybe 60 volts, whatever, and then try to adjust this to create 100 volts, I think, on this collector, wherever it is. I think it's the top side. And that's about it. And then also I know I have to go after the vertical, same potentiometers under there. So maybe if I do that, maybe I can correct this more. But I'll have to read my information over on my CRT tester, and whether that's valid to test one of these or not, God only knows. So always got to have your mysteries. So this is it, I guess. I have nothing else to do, I don't think. Back on. Here's that capacitor that came out of a stereo that was blown up. Oil capacitor, I believe it. They're in the Japanese stuff. This was across the AC, 110, 120, whatever. 0.1 at 600 volts. Usually they say oil, but usually I have some black ones that say oil. But usually they all have to be replaced, whether they're in total circuitry or tube type all over the place. Control grid to plate, whatever. Or plate to control grid, I mean. Whatever. That's it anyway, so. It smells like some kind of cleaning fluid or WD-40 or something when they explode. So that's it for Orange Hub Beginner's Corner, March 30th of 2021. So we got a March into April, I guess.